my name's Xtine. I challenged myself to cook something different every day for 30 days. Today is day 15. Today I've decided to make the New York Times buffalo white beans. I grew up near Buffalo, New York, and buffalo sauce could be considered a part of my heritage. I also love beans. So this recipe really just has my name written all over it. I'm excited to pay homage to those two little facts about me here today with you via this recipe. Let's see how it is. I've never made it before. Will it be good? I hope so. It's got beans and buffalo sauce, so probably. In the interest of saving time, I've already prepped a bunch of ingredients before we start, and here they are. The first thing we need to do is crank the oven all the way up to 475 degrees. Heat up an oven-safe skillet, I'm using a cast iron one, over medium-high heat. The recipe calls for 1/4 a cup of butter. This is just slightly more than that. Either way, we're melting it in the skillet. Once it's completely melted, add 2 medium carrots, finely chopped. One of the carrots I used was white, so that's why this looks the way it does. Next, 2 stalks of celery, also finely chopped. Salt generously. And stir it around so these ingredients can get to know each other. I'm going to let this cook for 5 to 10 minutes until the vegetables soften, stirring occasionally so nothing burns. Then add garlic. This is 6 minced cloves of garlic, which is actually exactly the amount the recipe called for, and I was pleasantly surprised. Next, we're adding 2 cans worth of cannellini beans that I drained and rinsed. The recipe calls for just 1/4 of a cup of Frank's Red Hot, and that does not seem like a lot of sauce. I have concerns. And despite my reservations, I decided to play by their rules and see how it goes. I added the measly 1/4 cup of Frank's Red Hot and stirred vigorously, hoping all the stirring would somehow produce the amount of sauce I had hoped for. But my efforts were in vain, because look at these dry-ass beans. Okay, I'm sorry, I've got to add more sauce. This is just not looking saucy enough. Something needs to be done. So I dumped in the rest of the bottle of Frank's Red Hot, and as the sauce washed over the beans, I too felt a wave of relief wash over me. The sauce may be hot, but the relief was sweet. This amounts to 5 fluid ounces of hot sauce total, which is a little bit more than half a cup. So basically I doubled what the recipe called for. We're going to top these beans with panko breadcrumbs before putting them in the oven. The recipe calls for 1/2 cup, but I decided not to measure and just eyeball it instead. I think you can trust yourself to judge how much breadcrumb you would like, but if you're seeking direction, start with 1/2 cup and spread it into an even layer. Okay, and this might be sacrilegious, but I'm also going to top this with feta cheese instead of the blue cheese that the recipe calls for. I know that blue cheese is traditionally served with buffalo wings, but feta is what I had on hand, it's what I was in the mood for, and it's also a crumbly white cheese, so hopefully we can all just accept this choice that I made with minimal judgment. And now we're going to bake for 10 minutes until the panko is a little crispy on top. And we're done. She's beautiful. I remembered at the last second that I was supposed to top with celery leaves, so here's me haphazardly adding those. But okay, cute. Very photogenic. What a dish. I'm not gonna lie, I'm into this. A little bit of veggies in there too. It's healthy. It's delicious. It's a little drier than I was expecting. I don't know why when I read the recipe I kind of assumed it would be in like a wet sauce, and it's not. They're just sort of really well seasoned beans. This would be great in a burrito. I'm glad I added a little extra sauce. Notice I keep just going back in though. It's very easy to eat. A little bit of heat. It's one of those things. Your mouth starts to water, you're like, get more of that in there now. Put the fire out, you know, with more fire.